Who is the best right winger in the world? Do you know what? It just felt right to release all of the wingers at the same time. So I'm doing the two videos, one for the left wing, one for the right wing, and I'm just putting them both on the channel at the same time. So if you're watching this one and you haven't seen the other one, it is in the feed. And thank you very much for watching. I appreciate it. Do you know what the bonus is? As well as, because, you know, some players, they wear 11 one week and 14 the next. As I say, it just felt right to do all the wingers together. But what it also means is that I'll do fullback tomorrow, which will be Thursday as I record this, meaning I'll have Friday to just reflect on the player power rankings overall and come up with an overall top 10. So if you've got any thoughts on that, then in the comments. But on this particular video, give me your comments on the top 10 right wingers I've got, which is based on, remember, current and recent form, so all the games that have happened since the Rugby World Cup, historic form, a player's whole body of work, and just a bit of opinion as well. And it'd be boring if we all thought the same, wouldn't it? At number 10, and just hanging in to the top 10 by a thread, Emiliano Buffelli. There's no doubting the guy's talent. I mean, do you know what? He quite often gets focused on as a goal kicker, and he's incredible at that. But he's a legitimately good back three player. He's played a lot of rugby at fullback, but the majority of his rugby in the last couple of years has been played on that right wing for Argentina, and he's been absolutely brilliant. There was the period, maybe go back a few years, there was an argument he would make it into a World 15. He's not there at the moment, and since the World Cup, that's basically because of injury. Hopefully he can be back and playing very soon. At number 9, in exactly the same boat, and a teammate of Emiliano Buffelli, they both play at Edinburgh, and just like Buffelli, Darcy Graham, injury ravaged since the Rugby World Cup. At the Rugby World Cup, he scored 5 tries. Deadly finisher. 4 of those against Romania and a try against Tonga. And that might be the factor that would get Darcy Graham further up the list. If he can deliver and score those tries, not just 4 against Romania, but score against South Africa, let's say. And he did get close to it. In fact, he should have scored against South Africa, wasn't it? In that first pool game of the Rugby World Cup against Marseille. Yeah, he should have scored. Although, no, actually, I've just remembered. Duhan van der Merwe should have passed him the ball. Or was it that Darcy Graham should have passed the ball to Duhan van der Merwe? I can't remember whether it was Darcy Graham's fault or Duhan's fault. But either way, a try should have been scored in that game. And I guess that's why Darcy Graham's at number 9. That, as well as the fact, injuries. Sevu Reece, a try against England and a try against Fiji recently, and a brilliant record for the Crusaders. A poor Crusaders team this season. 12 tries in 13 starts. He has just got that knack of finishing at club level, 58 in 65 matches, and international for the All Blacks, 17 tries in 24 games. He's just got that knack. It's like he dips himself in Vaseline before he plays. I don't know if he's going to be picked in the Rugby Championship by Scott Robertson for the game against Argentina, but he's in the mix, and that means he's definitely worthy of the top 10. Mack Hansen drops down, another player. I mean, we've had 3 of them so far. Buffelli, Darcy Graham and Mack Hansen hardly played since the Rugby World Cup, and that has affected their chances. But there's a lot of credit in the bank for Mack Hansen. I really like the guy. He's very unique. One of the big characters in rugby. We need more guys like Mack Hansen. He's his own man, a bit of a loose cannon in the best way. Like, it will just come back out of the tunnel after a game, and all the players go in. It will just come back out in a pair of pants and go and take selfies and give autographs to the fans. He's proper character, very good rugby player. Number 6. Now this is where a bit of gut feeling comes in, because Emmanuel Faye-Waboso has not been playing that long, but he's done enough within those games to mark himself out as having star quality, and consequently I've rocketed him straight up to number 6. If you think I shouldn't be, or maybe even you think he should be higher, then hey, let me know. That's what the comments are for. I'll be down there with you in them. But yeah, 3 tries in the recent test matches, scored in both of the games away in New Zealand. And for a guy who's in his first full season of professional rugby, aged just 21, that is phenomenal. The strength, the power through contact, the acceleration, and just the knack of finishing that this guy has got. He is a superstar in the making, and I don't want to hype him up too much, but what a first season for club, and more importantly for country, which is why he finds himself at number 6 as we move into the top 5. And I've got someone from Portugal in the top 5. How cool is that? He's there on merit, in my humble opinion. And Rafael Storti, before you start thinking, Tim gone a bit loopy. What's going on? He's got Raphael Storti at number 5 above some of those names I've already mentioned. Yes. Let me give you some stats which demonstrate this. So in a very unfancied Portugal side, he got 3 tries at the Rugby World Cup. In all, he scored 4 tries in 7 appearances for Portugal this season. His overall international record, 16 tries in 17 games. Let me tell you his club form. This season for his club in France, Béziers. 21 tries in 19 starts. And his club career overall, 31 appearances, 31 tries. Raphael Storti is legit. He is going to Stade Francais for this forthcoming season. One of the big powerhouses, full of star names, and Raphael Storti is going to be among them. If he were playing for another country, well, I mean, there's an argument. If he was playing for another country, he might not get a look in. But if he did get a look in, he would absolutely... He's just got it. Whatever it is that these wingers have, he's got it. He's just got that ability to find the line. And that, not only is he scoring lots and lots of tries, as the stats just a testament to. Remember the try he scored against Fiji? At a world-class finish to win a match when it really mattered. That was their World Cup final that day, and he delivered on the biggest of stages. And yeah, I think he deserves to be number 5. Let me know if you disagree. I've got Carl Steyn at number 4. And, you know, in contrast to the players that have had injury-ravaged seasons, Carl Steyn's taken advantage of the injury to Darcy Graham and has, well, because you could argue at the Rugby World Cup, he was in the Scotland squad, he was getting game time, but you could argue when the big matches really arrived, that pool match against South Africa, for example, to start the Rugby World Cup, it was Darcy Graham and Duhan van der Merwe on the wings. I think if Gregor Townsend were picking his team in a Rugby World Cup match, a huge stage next weekend, he'd pick Carl Steyn. He's had a brilliant year for Scotland in the Six Nations and for Glasgow in the URC, where he led them brilliantly to a victory, which must have been very special because his family are from just up the road, not far away from Pretoria, and he took his side to altitude and brought home a trophy in what has been described as the greatest Scottish club rugby moment of all time. He was the skipper. Deserves a lot of credit. And hey, Lions Tour a year away. There's a lot of competition for these spots, isn't there? The top 3 now. And these top 3 are just different class. They're on another level. Will Jordan is outrageously talented. He hasn't played since the Rugby World Cup. But he's that good and that naturally gifted that I wouldn't put it past him being picked to start for the ABs in the Rugby Championship, despite the fact he's played an hour of NPC rugby. That's all he's done since the Rugby World Cup. A Rugby World Cup, by the way, when he scored 8 tries. He is insanely talented, as is Kurt-Lee Arendse, in a very different way. Will Jordan's just got that kind of natural glide, and Will Jordan doesn't look like he's sprinting and he's just absolutely motoring. Kurt-Lee Arendse is all action. And much like Cheslin Colby, who I mentioned on the left wingers, that one of the thing I think I appreciate most about Kurt-Lee Arendse, yes, he's a fantastic finisher, but let me take you back. World Cup final, Rieko Ioane takes the ball and all he has to do is glide in from about 10 metres out. And somehow Kurt-Lee Arendse manages to make up more ground than I thought it was possible to, and manages to take Rieko Ioane down and off the pitch and save his team in what was, I would argue, a match-winning, arguably World Cup winning try-saving tackle. He's insane, is the butcher, and that desire, it doesn't just manifest itself on the pitch as a rugby player, it's just his whole story. His whole story is biding his time, and when he got the opportunity, just taking it. And that's Kurt-Lee Arendse to a T. Number 1, Damien Penaud. Talk about outrageously talented players. Look no further than this guy. He is incredible. 6 tries at the Rugby World Cup. He scored, for Bordeaux, 19 starts this season, 18 tries. And for France, 11 starts and 10 tries in the last year. 36 in 50 for his country so far. That's unreal stats, particularly when you add into the fact Damien Penaud does not play against the smaller nations, generally speaking, because France, the top 14 goes on for so long that they don't send their big guns on the July test tours. They send their B-sides to Uruguay and the like. So he just does this in Six Nations and World Cups and November tests against the big Southern Hemisphere teams. Damien Penaud brings it. And I've seen a lot of people raising that criticism about Antoine Dupont. Oh yeah, well he never wins in New Zealand or South Africa or whatever. It's like, well, yeah, they never tour there because of the top 14, but Damien Penaud is someone that does deliver against those teams. He is truly world class. He'd have to be above Will Jordan and Curtly Arendt. So he's my number one. That is my list. Tell me what you think. I will see you on the next one.